see Lindelof videos. Find the inverse of a trigonometric function. And I wanted to look at sine today. So start off with this function here. Actually, let me make this a little bit more interesting. Let me put it maybe at 2 here. So let f of x equal 2 sine x minus 1. And we're asked to find the inverse of f of x, otherwise sometimes known as arcsine x. So just to make this plain and easier, this is done in a very similar way that you would do any algebraic problem, just a couple small differences. So the first thing I'm going to do, just the way you would in algebra, is I'm going to replace f of x with y. I'm going to rewrite my function sine x minus 1, and I'm going to interchange, that is to switch, I'm going to interchange x and y. So all I'm saying there is I'm going to switch these two values. So I'm going to write x here, y here, right? So that would look like this, wouldn't it? 2 sine y minus 1. So that's all I did here. Now solve for sine y. Now in algebra you'd be solving for y, but we know that y in this case is it's not sine times y. Sine is the argument, and y is the argument and sine is the operator. So we can't separate those two. So I'm going to start the solving process. I'm going to have x plus 1, that's me moving this 1 over, is equal to 2 sine y. I added 1 to both sides, so this one went away, didn't it? Now I'm going to divide by this 2 right here. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. So I'll get x plus 1 divided by this 2 is equal to sine y. We're almost done, you guys. This is where it gets a little bit weird. Here is where you have to use the definition. So by definition, and the definition we know is that y is equal to sine inverse of x. X is equal to sine y. So I can replace this thing here. So this is my argument to my professor, that I'm using the definition of an inverse and saying now that I have y is equal to the inverse of sine, and this is my argument, x plus 1 divided by 2 is my argument. The last thing I'm going to do here is, because this is not truly y, right? Remember we had f of x. So y is f of x, and we just found its inverse. So we do need to restate that. This is really important to say, okay, y is actually the inverse of f of x, and that was equal to the inverse of sine of x plus 1 over 2. So there's us finding this. From here, what your professor is going to ask you to do is find the range and domain. And if you're interested in that, I'm about to do that video, and I'm probably going to start from here. So thanks a lot for watching. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thanks.